difficulties. The live stream was not getting started, but we're here. We're gonna continue. We're back, and I'm gonna get started. We're a bit late into this live stream. Just want to make sure it's working over here. I apologize. Thank you for those that waited. I really much apologize that it took so long, but we're here, and yes, so I'm back, and I'm gonna be calling the Steelers versus Browns game, and let's get started. So the Browns come into this game sitting at 2-8, and the Steelers come into this game sitting at 8. So let me get into it with my prediction while we're on commercials. I think this they're gonna get done 25-9. Yeah, that's what I see happening. But on this first drive, the Steelers went down the field. It looks like went for the field goal and missed. So it's still a 0-0 game. So we missed nothing on the scoreboard. But here we are. So we're back, and I want to go over. So the Steelers lead the series. Steelers versus Browns, both from the AFC North. The Steelers lead the series 81-63 and won. They tied once. That's what the 1 means. That's the series record overall. These two teams. So we got rosters here. We're going to make this official. It's still 0-9-12 to go. Winston is going to throw in Njoku, and that's going to be incomplete. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. 9:09 left in the first quarter. So Jameis Winston came into this season as their backup QB, and Winston is now the starter as Watson is out for the season due to injury. Watson did not there, but yep. Winston hands off to Chubb. Chubb running and will go nowhere. Maybe yards gonna be 3rd down. Chubb is a guy that just came back a few weeks ago. I believe it was the same game that Watson got injured. Maybe game afterwards, but Nick Chubb, a guy that I drafted in fantasy in the late round, held on to him throughout the season. He hasn't done anything for me yet, but I haven't even needed him. But Nick Chubb, doing much. Winston in the pocket. 3rd and 7 for the Browns. Got Ford in there as well, and Steelers jump. Looks like number 97, they're going to throw a flag onto him. So 97 of Cameron Ward, it will be on him, and it will move them back, looks like 5 yards. So now it's 75 on the Cleveland who gets the penalty. Number 75 of Joel Winslow. So it's going to be 3rd and 12. Winston, back to throw, go Ford going, and will be stopped around the 50-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down, and we're probably going to see a punt here. Smart thing here would be a punt for the Browns. So yeah. So Winston, it's 4 and out for Winston and the Browns, and the Steelers will get the ball back with 7:46 left in the first. So to kick it away, number 13 on the Browns goes to number 20 in the Steelers. Let me get the name for number 13. He's not on the roster. So that was 2. So, looks like those out of bounds. It's going to be a flag, so we'll see where they mark it. But Steelers should get good field position here. Bajamaj is the punter for the Browns. So the flag, it looks like it's gonna be on. Yeah, it's gonna be on the Browns, punting out of bounds. Actually, no, now they're saying it's on Kasny for roughness. I don't know. So 2 flags there. So we'll see where they what they decide. But we go to commercial break. Go over some stats I have for you that I did some research on. So we have Russell Wilson with 6 passing TDs, 2 interceptions since he came in for just Fields. So Russell Wilson is still undefeated since he's been on the Steelers. Just making sure this is working. Let's see how many people we have. We have 6 people watching now, which is great. So we got Russell Wilson on the Steelers, so they sit at 8-2 now, 4-2 when they came in. So they've won. They're 5-0. So he's thrown 6 TDs, 2 picks. But before that, Justin Fields played good as well, throwing 5 touchdowns and one interception. So both of these guys having seasons. So I don't know. It's a tough battle, but I think Russell Wilson's played a bit better. Justin Fields played great too, but Russell Wilson has their experience. Based on what I've seen, I would say Wilson would be the smart choice here. So yeah, as you see, I'm wearing my Drew Brees jersey today. It's time to wear that. My Drew Brees on. He's my second favorite player ever, besides Tom Brady. Just one day watching the Saints, and so I like the Saints. Drew Brees, so I went with that. So for the rushing stats, I'm gonna go over that. So we have Najee Harris has 3 TDs, rushing TDs. Justin Fields has 5, but then Warren, their other running back, has 0. So it's interesting. Justin Fields has more rushing touchdowns than the 2 running backs combined. Okay. And Patterson as well. Throw Patterson in there. So then we have Pickens with only 2 TDs this season. Then we have Freiermuth, the tight end, with 3 touchdowns. We have Austin with 2 touchdowns, and Washington with 1 touchdown. Now for sacks, we have TJ Watt, who has 7.5 sacks there. Okay, so here's the penalty. We're back. The game is back on now. And it looks like it's going to be roughing on 23. So we'll get back to the stats. But we have Russell Wilson in the QB. We have Pickens and Johnson in the outfield. Najee Harris in as running back for the Steelers. Line back up, and it's going to be false start on Hayward, number 83. Number 83 on the Steelers of Hayward. So it'll move them back 5 yards. So Connor Hayward on the stop there. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Steelers. Wilson play clock ticking down to 4. Wilson hands it off to Harris. Harris runs, and he'll be down around the 28-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down for the Steelers. And I want to thank you guys for watching. We have 5 viewers, which is not amazing, but great compared to what we had Friday night on the Soma Sports broadcast, Somers vs. Fly, which we had 40 at one time. It was amazing. Thank you for everyone who tuned into that. Wilson scrambling, and he'll go out of bounds. It will be 3rd down. So it'll be 3rd down. 6:48 left in the first quarter. Wilson just runs it out of bounds there. So since trading for Patrick Queen on the defense, or signing Patrick Queen, however they got him, trading or signing, he's had 0 picks. He hasn't intercepted the ball yet, which is unusual for him. But 3rd and 6 for the Steelers. Lining back up. Wilson, we have Pickens and Austin. Wilson to Pickens, and he'll be down around the 50-yard line. That will be 1st and 10 for the Steelers as they're driving down the field. 6:06 left. Russell Wilson throws it to George Pickens here. So Wilson goes back. He sees Pickens there, making himself open in front of Ward, and Pickens is able to go and get his arms to the ball to catch it. What a play that not only for Wilson for seeing that Pickens was open, but Pickens for being able to get that afterward, started to defend him more. And it's going to be a 1 for Warren there. So Warren on the 1 there. And that will go nowhere. Maybe a yard. So it's going to be 2nd down for the Steelers. 2nd down. So George Pickens, 40 receptions, 20 plus yards this year. Pretty impressive. Wilson hands it off to Harris. And Najee Harris will gain, I don't think, any there. So it's going to be 3rd down for the Steelers. And something I see common in the game tonight is a lot of field goals. I could see a lot of field goals happening. And yeah, so okay, Wilson discussing the play with his team, lining back up. All right, 3rd and 6. Wilson's going to throw. And it's caught. Will not be a 1st down by number 11 on the Steelers, Van Jefferson. He was a Ram. So it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to punt. They're not in field goal range. Wait, or are they? No, they're not. So, smart move. No, they're going for it. They bring out Justin Fields. Patterson out there as well. So Justin Fields is good. A player that they bring out on 4th down to get 1st downs. That's what the Steelers like to do. Jameis Winston is warming up. But let's see. I think Fields, if you could run it, just get the 1st. Fields keeps it. No surprise. Browns defense gets him. This game will remain scoreless as Fields gets stopped by the Browns defenders there, and it will be a turnover on downs as the Browns will take over. So, Steelers try to go for it on a 4th down, try to stay in the game, but now Jameis Winston and the Browns have the ball. Now, let's see what Jameis Winston and the Browns could do in offense. So, one common thing I do see today is now I may have to lower my score than what I thought it was, but I think it's going to be a lot of field goals tonight. The Browns, and going into this game, I have the Browns scoring 9, and the Steelers scoring 25. Now I'm going to make it a 19-9 game. Still putting up 4 field goals, a touchdown for the Steelers. I still got 3 field goals for the Browns. So a 19-9 victory for the Steelers. And if you watched last week's game against the Ravens, it was the Steelers with all field goals. They scored 6. So the Steelers come victorious with 6 field goals and are able to stop the Ravens, who go for 2 to try to tie it up, and they don't get it. So a big win. The Steelers are 8-2, the surprise in that AFC this year. I thought they would be good, but they haven't even played that great, but they've just been lucky and top their division. They're currently the 3rd seed. The Bills win against the Chiefs. So I apologize that it's vertical like this, but we had to do that because for some reason it wouldn't let me go vertical, so it's going to be horizontal tonight. In the future, including tomorrow, it should be vertical again, but we just have to go for it tonight as the game is starting. It wasn't working, so we're doing it vertical tonight, and yeah. So, alright, so while we're on commercials, let me go through the team's history. So, what I want to highlight is the NFL. Well, last time both these teams were in the playoffs, they played each other. It was 2021, I believe. Highlighting older games, so 1999, Week 9, the Steelers won 43-0 in Week 1 of 1999. But one game I wanted to highlight is the playoff game where the Browns came to play to win 48-37, but Browns showed up in the first quarter going 28-0 with a touchdown to start the game. That's one game I'll remember forever. As Winston hands off to Chubb, there goes Chubb, gains about 5 yards there. But this is one game. This is a famous matchup in NFL history. A matchup I'm going to remember, and that matchup, it was a shootout, a little opposite of what we see tonight. Yeah, I believe that was the season the Steelers were 11-0. That was the COVID weird season where the Steelers were 11-0, and then they go 12-4. But yeah. Winston hands it off to Chubb, and he'll be stopped by number 25 on the Steelers of Deshaun Elliott. So Deshaun Elliott stops Chubb there, and it's going to be a third down for the Browns offense and Winston. So Jameis Winston. Who's Jameis Winston? So Jameis Winston started his career as a first overall pick for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers signed him as Winston. And so first overall pick to the Buccaneers. Winston, incomplete pass to Tillman, so it's going to be 4th and 2, and looks like they're going to punt here. But who is, so he played multiple first season of his first few seasons as a Buccaneer. Eventually they gave up on him when they signed Brady in 2020. So then Winston went to the Saints, where he wound up, so he sat behind Drew Brees here. Browns punted away. Tillman, the attempted receiver, and the Browns will get it down around the 10-yard line, maybe 8. So Winston then goes to the Saints for a few years. Does okay, doesn't do amazing. Then where did he go after that? I don't even. However, eventually he gets to the Browns, and Winston was on the Saints. And then now he's on the Browns. So that mind is blank of where he went to after the Saints. I don't even know. Maybe he didn't go anywhere. He was well last year, but he didn't really start. So the Browns. So he went to the Browns this year, and he's had a few starts. As Deshaun Watson's been out for the season. So yeah. We currently have one person watching, but that's alright. Good practice. So Steelers Browns were still tied 0-0, 2:01 left in the first quarter. Wilson hands it off Harris. He's going. Alright, so who's Russell Wilson? He'll be down, gaining about a couple there. So who's Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, drafted 4th round to the Seahawks. He led the Seahawks to a Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 48 with him. And then, the best part is, Super Bowl 49, they make it back to the Super Bowl. Yard line, about to throw the winning, or run it in for the winning touchdown. Give it to Paxton Lynch to run it in for the touchdown. But Wilson throws to Booth, and he'll be down on the 20. But Wilson decides to throw. He doesn't hand it off to Lynch, and throws a pick to Malcolm Butler, and the Patriots win the Super Bowl. And then since then, Seahawks were never able to rebound. They made playoffs next few years, but never got back to the promised land, the Super Bowl. And a few years ago, he was traded to the Broncos. And last year, he played good on the Broncos, and then Payton made the decision to bench him. I'm still not really sure why, but that's when he decided to move on from the Broncos and went to the Steelers. The Steelers signed him very cheap, and the Broncos still have to pay him all this guaranteed money, so the Steelers got a good deal on him. But Russell Wilson, he's going to throw to Pickens. A catch, and that will be a first down for the Steelers, and 1st and 10 for the Steelers. Pickens made himself open. The first down. It is a rainy night in Pittsburgh, as it is here as well. It's been a drought, but we got rain finally. So yeah. Alright, so that is the end of the first quarter. We're still scoreless, so tomorrow night Somers takes on Averill Park, and I think I'm gonna do play-by-play. So I think Somers gets out to an early 7-0 lead. So Averill Park's a team. They lost to Mayapack in week 1, 17-7, and Averill Park. They lost to Mayapack, who we destroyed, and we beat them last year 30-7. So I think Averill Park, they're gonna be a tough opponent, but not as tough as Y, and maybe not even as tough as Harrison, if you get what I'm saying. But I think we'll get out to a 7-0 lead. I think we'll get up to a 14-0 lead. Give them a touchdown, make it 14-7, 21-7, 28-7, 31-7. I'm gonna say a 38-7 final score for the Tuskers. So that's my prediction for Tuskers versus Averill Park. And yeah. And if you watched last week, Tuskers won promisingly against the Rye Garnets. They scored 28 unanswered since being down 14-7 at half. They go and scored 28 unanswered. Garnets scored another touchdown at the end of the game, but impressive game by Miguel Iglesias, Mason Kelly, just an amazing game by the Tuskers. At halftime, must have been some motivation speech as the Tuskers came out to play in the second half, and they were able to get it done. An impressive, not only a close, exciting win, it was an impressive win. It wasn't even not being that close at the end for the Tuskers. So just overall, that's what we need to keep doing all the way to the state championship. And the fact that we beat the Garnets, I feel like personally our hardest matchup. Garnets are a good team. They were undefeated like us. There's only a couple other undefeated teams that we would have to play. Only a couple undefeated teams that we'd have to play in the Class A bracket. So, feeling good. But we'll see. I think Somers could four-peat, but then they move down next year to Class B. So maybe they could continue the streak into Class B. I think they can, but obviously they can. Class B is a bit easier, but it still isn't the same as Class A. It's next Thursday night. No, Friday. That's Thanksgiving. Chiefs, Raiders on Black Friday. So, hands off to Warren there. It will be second down for the Steelers. Still tied at 0. Mike Vrabel. This is interesting. Mike Vrabel, the Browns personnel coaching consultant for the Browns. Browns are still not. Browns are 2-8, and they have Mike Vrabel. The reason why the Titans were good. Titans are horrible without him. Mike Vrabel is a Brown. He's not even an offensive coordinator. Interesting. Alright, Wilson hands it off to Warren. We'll go nowhere there. So it's going to be third down. We're on the one again. So third down and... So third down. So back to Tuskers. I feel confident. If you want to hear my prediction for the bracket, you gotta tune into our next Soma Sports broadcast episode. But yeah, what's up? That's something that surprises me. Mike Vrabel, the Browns. Never know. Wilson throwing deep. There goes Wilson. There goes to Austin. Austin's caught, and he's going to be down. Austin is down by number 9 of the Browns of Grant Devitt. So Austin on the Steelers, Calvin Austin on the catch and stopped by the 9 of Delpit. But what a throw by Wilson. He saw that Austin was going down, that he was open, and before Delpit stopped him, Austin was able to keep himself open and get the ball, even though Delpit stopped him, and get it down the field a bit more. So, fumble. So Wilson hands it off to Harris, and Harris fumbles it, but Wilson is there to recover it, so it's going to be second down. So, second down for the Browns. So Russell Wilson saves the Browns. Looks like it was going to be a Browns recovery, but Russell Wilson, he sees the ball is out. He decides to put it in his own hands and save the drive to get down on the ball, and it could have been a lot worse of a play if the Browns got it. So, still tied at 0-0, and the Steelers are going to call their timeout. So, I want to finish going through these stats. So, TJ Watt has 7.5 sacks on the season. And then for interceptions, we have Bishop with 3, Jackson with 3, and Patrick Queen, who has 0. I'm going to go over the Browns stats with you before we continue. We have Jameis Winston, he's come in. Keep this in mind. Has 7 TDs and 3 interceptions. Deshaun Watson has 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions before he got injured. Nick Chubb, since he's gotten back, he has 1. Ford has 1, and Foreman has 1. All of them have 1 touchdowns. Receiving touchdowns, we have Jerry Jeudy 2, Njoku with 2, Moore with 1, and Tillman 3. So Wilson hands it off to Harris. It's going to be a flag on the play. So the sacks, we have Myles Garrett, who has 7 sacks on the season, close to TJ Watt. Those two could be front runners for the defensive player of the year since Aiden Hutchinson is out for the season. Hutchinson did deserve it, though. It's a real shame. And the Lions are still doing great. If they had Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions would probably win out the season and go to the Super Bowl. But without Hutchinson, I still have a doubt in my mind. I don't know. Hutchinson's a missing key, I feel like, to that team. They've won every game, so he's been injured, but still. Losing Hutchinson, I feel like, is going to catch up to the Lions eventually. But the Browns' defense has only had 2 interceptions all year, so trying to work on that third one. Probably a big reason also why they're 2-8. So Wilson in the pocket, Warren in as the running back here. We got 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. Wilson and the Steelers lining up. Wilson back to throw. Running. Hands off to Warren. Go nowhere there, maybe a yard. So it's going to be 4th down. So Wilson actually throws it to Warren there. A short throw, kind of looked like a handoff. So it's going to put Chris Boswell, who missed a field goal before. Now with the snow, there may not be as many field goals made as thought tonight, but Boswell on. Hopefully he makes it because I have him starting him in fantasy in multiple leagues. Boswell's kick is up, and it is good, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see what it is. Who is it on? I don't know, it looks like it's going to be on defense, number 21, Denzel Ward. So, Denzel Ward jumps there. That's what it looks like from here. I don't know. Steelers are kicking a field goal again. So, maybe it was on the offense after all. Hard to know what's going on there. They're not at the game. But we have Boswell on for the field goal. Kick is up. And it's good. First points on the board. Put them on the board. We got Steelers 3, Browns nothing. And our first score of the night is a field goal as projected by me and predicted. Both these teams, two good defenses. Browns defense hasn't shown up this year, but they're still a good defense. They got Myles Garrett. Yeah. Don't forget the Browns. I know they're 2-8, but they have the defending coach of the year. They're a good team. They've just been really unlucky, and it just hasn't been working out for them. John Watson really screwed them over, especially because the Texans get Stroud, Will Anderson, and I did not see that going that way for the Texans. The Texans really lucked out, and Browns did not. And the Panthers also another victim of the Strouds. As if you watch Tom Glossy, shout out to him. Strouds are a character in a scripted show, but the Panthers are another victim of the Strouds. They could have got C.J. Stroud, but they took Bryce Young, and as they probably should have at the time, Bryce Young was rated better, but still, Bryce Young's really turned into a bust, and C.J. Stroud, well, he hasn't been putting up the best number lately. He's still a promising quarterback. And I think based on his rookie season, I know he hasn't been doing that good. He's gonna be a future Super Bowl champion in this league. That's a prediction, and I think he'll do it on the Texans as well. The Texans are a sack team. I just think they need to work on throwing the ball more and less of handing it off to Joe Mixon. Like it's working, but it's not gonna in the long run. So I don't know. It would just be good to see it would be good to see C.J. Stroud throw the ball more. I think that would just help the Texans' team out overall. Like, I'm not saying what they should do. They could do whatever they want, but I think that would just put them over the top and like competing against them. We have Ravens. Christmas Day, maybe I'll broadcast both of those games. We have two really good games. We have the Chiefs and the Steelers, two top teams in the AFC, and then we have the Ravens and the Texans, and those are going to be some good games. Entering tonight, wow. Defense, wow. So, T.J. Watts has 104 career sacks, and Myles Garrett has 95.5 career sacks. Very impressive by both. So, Boswell is going to kick off. Ford gets in, drops it, knees it. It's going to be a touchback. So, looked like it could have been a safety there, but they're going to call it a touchback. So, T.J. Watt, Patrick Queen, and the Steelers defense come on out. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Steelers. Thank you for everyone tuning in. We only have 5 viewers, so thank you for everyone who's watching tonight. I very much appreciate it. And we currently have 119 subscribers on the Soma Sports broadcast. Our goal is to get to 150 by the end of this year. If we end, so Winston and the Browns offense line back up. We got Ford in as the running back. Winston throws. He goes, here comes Jerry Jeudy, not down and out, down around 34 yard line to be exact. So Jerry Jeudy on the reception there. He'll get it, able to get the ball. And Ford touched it. It looks like it should be a safety. We playing that, but it looks like that won't matter, but probably should have been a safety. That's what... Jeudy down around 41. So it's going to be 2nd down for the Browns. 2nd and 2. So Jeudy gets 8 yards there. Jameis Winston James Winston, his last season on the Buccaneers. Like, he's a good quarterback, but he's known for throwing interceptions. That's something that we've seen from him, even on the Browns. Chubb will go down around 50. So much sports broadcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Apologize. Let me just make sure this is sent out. Okay. Winston, fake handoff to Chubb. He'll throw. Judy again! First down, Browns. Again, the Browns are figuring something out as Jerry Judy gets his third reception on this drive. And 1st and 10 for the Browns. Browns up. They may get it if they keep this up. They're going to get a touchdown on this drive. They're getting closer and closer to the end zone. Now down at the 38-yard line about. So 1st and 10 for the Browns. What you guys could do on here is watch the game on TV, or if you don't have an Amazon Prime, you could just listen. Hands it off to Ford. So watch it on TV, but like have it muted so you can hear my thing instead of the commentators. And be down around the 28-yard line. That's going to be Ford on the one there. See if they mark it a first down. So Ford wins it. Bunch of Steelers on him, including Heinbig and Herbig. And then number 50. Okay. So it's going to be first down. Winston, QB sneak there. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. They're going down the field. 1st and 10. Lining back up. Winston, we got Tillman out there. So we also have Judy. Winston to throw. Short pass here goes Nick Chubb and will go nowhere. So Nick Chubb on the reception there, and it's going to be 2nd down for the Browns. And if they score a touchdown on this drive, my predictions are already done for the night. As I had the Browns scoring 3 field goals. But I want to hear, those of you watching, can you comment in the live chat, what is your prediction for tonight? What's your prediction? I'm interested in hearing. Score prediction-wise. Alright, Winston hands it off to Chubb. Chubb down around the... See where they mark it. So, you didn't hear before. I want to know, what is your prediction, score prediction for this game, and then I'll shout it out on air. So it's currently 3-0 Browns. I think it's gonna be a 19-9 win for the Steelers. 3-0 Steelers. Winston, Browns currently on offense. Winston back deep, he'll throw, and it's gonna be down to Moore. So Elijah Moore on the reception there. So it'll be 4th down. And it looks like they're going to go as predicted. No, they're going for it. They're going for it on 4th down, folks. So 4th and 1. Could see a QB sneak here. Handoff to Chubb. That handoff to Chubb, a QB sneak, is some stuff that we'll see here. Maybe a short throw. Yep. Winston hands it off. There goes Chubb to get the first down and more. So Nick Chubb gets it for the first down for the Steelers. And there's 4:54 left in the first half. So Winston's going to hand it off to Chubb in the snowy night. And Chubb is able to get through, finds an opening in the defenders, and he gets right through, gets the first down, and it's going to be the 25 on the Steelers of Elliott on the stop. And now, Patrick Queen is down for the Steelers. So, injury timeout, and we'll be right back on the air. So, yeah. So currently 3-0 Steelers. So I'm gonna go over the past few matchups. So last year, Steelers took on the Browns on November 19th. This is the last matchup these guys played, and the Browns actually won 13-10. It was a good close game. For that, September 18th, 2023, the Steelers played the Browns, and the Steelers won 26-22. On January 8th, I think pretty sure the final game of the season, Steelers won 28-14 against Browns. On September 22nd of 2022, the Browns beat the Steelers 29-17. On January 3rd, 2022, Steelers beat the Browns 26-14. Steelers beat the Browns 15-10 on Halloween of 2021. And then before that was the game I was telling you about, the playoff game, the famous playoff game where the Browns just showed up, have not been in the playoffs, first playoff game back, and they just dominate. Baker Mayfield does amazing, scoring 28 in the first quarter, even though it was mostly the defense. Reason why they got out that much. Steelers then go make it a 35-10 game at halftime. Yes, all from my memory, because I'm good at that. And then Steelers go off in the second half, but so do the Browns, and it's a 48-37 win for the Cleveland Browns in a playoff game. So that was a good game. Thinking back, very high scoring. It wasn't really close, but it was still fun to watch as it was offensive and exciting. So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a halftime show, and what I'm doing during the halftime show, probably take a break some point in the half, but what I'm doing in the halftime show is predicting next week's NFL games. So, and then if I finish, I'm going to do the week after that as well, because why not? Or some games at least. So, Thursday Night Football. So it's Thursday Night Football on Amazon. So if you have Amazon, you can tune in, watch it on your TV, but like mute the volume so you can hear me. Here goes Winston to Njoku, close to the pylon. It's going to be first and goal for the Browns. And I want to say, tune in tomorrow night, because me and Jaden will be broadcasting right here, exactly the same. There will be a scoreboard. I don't have a nice setup as Jaden. I'm trying to figure it out for future broadcasts. Will be a scoreboard, and we'll be calling the whole Somers vs. Avil Park game. The winner advances to the next game. So yeah, I'm excited to be able to have the opportunity to do that. Winston hands it off to Chubb. Chubb goes in. Touchdown, Chubb. I benched him in fantasy, but he gets a touchdown there. Nick Chubb. The Browns get a touchdown, extra point pending, and yeah, my score is out of question for tonight. Usually good at predicting, but not in this case scenario. And Nick Chubb will get his second rushing touchdown of the season as he goes in to give the Browns 6. The Browns on the scoreboard. So Browns rush it in for a touchdown, and now on for the extra point. Dustin Hopkins should know that. So Hopkins' kick is good, and it's a 7. Yep, my score is ruined. 7-3 game for the Browns. So stay right here. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Actually, 2 seconds. Alright, folks, sorry about that, but we're back. And Hopkins ready to kick the ball back off. I'll make sure my iPad was charging, and we're back in the end zone for a touchback. So Russell Wilson, the Steelers, after letting up a score, back in the end zone, and out comes Russell Wilson, the Steelers. So I've gone through all the stats. I went by fast, only first half, but no big. We talk about some MVP front runners in the NFL. We got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I was talking to someone earlier, said Saquon could be MVP. I don't know about that. He's having a good season, but not as good as like some of these other players. But I want you guys to comment in the live chat, who do you think is the MVP of this season? Alright, Wilson is going to hand it off to Harris. Harris going, and he'll be down, gaining a couple there. Ones it around the defenders to the right, the field. So there's Mike Tomlin on the TV. This is his 18th season as a head coach. Longest current head coach in the league. Obviously, Bill Belichick was longer, but currently in it. Mike Tomlin also has always had a winning record in every single season. Wilson back. Oh, he fumbles. Ball out. Browns got it. Lead. 59 for the Browns. We'll cover. It looks like Reed. Get the full name for you in a second. Number 59. Winston Reed on the recovery. And the Cleveland Browns are now, and Jameis Winston is now coming back out, marching on the end zone. Oaks, we may have a bit of an upset on our hand. The 8-2 Steelers just fumbled all. Browns are up 7-3, and now have the ball close, or maybe even in the red zone. So, just change of momentum shift fast, as the Browns' momentum is going way in their favor. Winston back. Winston, there goes Winston, and he'll be down. Goes to Elijah Moore. He runs it and then throws it to Elijah Moore. Will be a first down. Did he get his feet first down? We'll see where they mark it. But looked from here, first down. Russell Wilson on the sideline trying to figure what went wrong on that fumble. Covered that fumble earlier, but something went wrong there. And if he was coached under Bill Belichick, he would have to carry a football around the facility with him all week. And so Winston tries to run it there and goes nowhere. He has to carry a football with him all week. And every player that on the team that sees him has to try to fumble it. I've done the story before. Has to try to fumble it from him, and we don't want them to fumble it. That's good with practice. Has to try to fumble it from Russell Wilson or whoever the player is. In this case, maybe it's Russell Wilson. And yeah, so that's how you learn not to fumble under Belichick. But imagine that being the case where you have to carry a ball around school all week. If you fumble it in high school football, so play a football around you all week, and everyone you see in the hallway tries to fumble the ball from you. Imagine that. But yeah, we're back on a commercial break. 2-minute warning. The clock runs out there, and Browns probably gonna score again before the halftime field goal. They're in field goal range. They're trying to get the touchdown. Jameis Winston's lead. Nick Chubb as well. So Nick Chubb has 2 rushing touchdowns in the season with the one earlier in this game. And yes, so I think Nick Chubb, he got injured early last season. sat out the rest of last season, and then he came back around week 9 of this season. Showing up here tonight so far. Has had a slow start to come back, but he's been showing up tonight so far. So, yeah. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Currently, 5 viewers, and yeah. So, comment who do you think is gonna be the MVP? I'll break down some other positions as well, like comeback player of the year. I thought it was gonna be Sam Darnold, but now I don't know. There's a lot of other options. Sam Darnold hasn't been playing the best football the last few weeks, which is a shame. But at least the Vikings are still doing good. We also got, I don't know. They may also always got to consider Damar Hamlin as well. He's having a season on the Bills, so there's that. Just gonna want to check, make sure all set here. Alright, folks, so we're back. Second half, a windy night in Cleveland. So, play there. Having technical difficulties with the camera. Just got that fixed there. So, second and 8. Gain of 2 yards, won by someone there. So, false start on Filetti. So, it's going to move the Browns back 5 yards. So, it's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Browns offense. 1:36 left in the second quarter. And Browns line back up 7-3 currently. Winston back out forward in the outfield. There goes Winston. Short throw to Elijah Moore, and Elijah Moore will be down past the 20 around the 17-yard line. So, third down for the Steelers. So, third down for the Browns there. And Elijah Moore is going to be stopped by 31 on the Steelers. "31 will stop him there. He is not on this roster, but yeah, so Winston, why are they showing Winston on the sideline? Interesting, but 3rd and 7 for the Browns. They head back out, and the rushing yard total for tonight is 40-38 in favor of the Browns. Total yards is 155-118 in favor of the Steelers. So, lining back up, Browns offense, Steelers defense. We got Ford, Tillman out there. And he's going to hand it off. Winston hands it off to Chubb. That goes nowhere. It's going to be a 4th down. So, most likely, it's not 4th and 1. So, they just kick the field goal. Well, you never know. The Browns went for it earlier. It was 4th and 1, though. So, I think they're going for it. I was going to say they should play it smart, go for the field goal. But they decided to go for it. Okay. Winston taking a wild snap. Here now. Looks like They're gonna let the clock run out, so it's gonna be. I guess trying to get the Steelers to jump did not work, so that they're gonna kick the field goal here. And the Browns call a timeout, so maybe they are serious about going. So I don't know. Or they just called a timeout. I do have 3 timeouts and 42 seconds left. If they don't get it, might as well save the 5 yards. No, it's not much with it at. Might as well save the 5 yards. You have the timeout. Might as well just use it. It's not like you need to save them. Yep, and here comes Dustin Hopkins on for the field goal to make it a 2-3 game if they make it. It's going to be a 34-yard attempt, an easy attempt there. Shout out to Gavin Kelly on the Tuskers who made a 35-yard attempt earlier this season. Hopkins' kick is up. It's good. So it's going to be a 10-3 game in favor of the Browns. And 40 seconds left in the second quarter. So 10-3 is our current score. And yeah, so we go to commercial break. Let's talk about, let's see, what other sports do we have? So we have the Cleveland Browns, but we also have Cleveland Cavaliers, the City foes in the NBA, and we started off 15-0, something that's only been done, I saw 3 times, according to Instagram, 3 times. The team has started off that good, undefeated, but then my Boston Celtics ended that streak, thank goodness, and the Celtics show why, and remind everyone why they are really the best team. That's a funny Home Alone commercial right now. The Watts. But Texans really, the Celtics really showing that the team, they're the Celtics showing them that they're the team and team to beat. So, I'll give you a little preview into the halftime. This weekend, the Chiefs take on the Panthers. I'm going to break down that matchup for you. So the Panthers have a terrible defense. I know Chiefs don't have the greatest offense, but I think the Chiefs still are going to put up some points on the Panthers. I think it's going to be a 31-9 victory for the Chiefs. Easy victory for the Chiefs there. I think we see 2 Kareem Hunt touchdowns. See 1 Patrick Mahomes to Kelsey and 1 Patrick Mahomes to Hopkins. So, yeah. So we're back in the game. About 40 seconds left. See if the Steelers do anything. They're probably just going to run the clock out by halftime. And yeah. So we'll see, depending on how many viewers we have and how exciting the game is. Plan to go to the end, but there's really no promises. It's currently halftime. We'll see. A few things. So Hopkins getting ready to kick it off. So Dustin Hopkins kicks it away, and we'll just go back for a touchback. Warren and Patterson out there try to receive, and let's see what Russell Wilson could do before the halftime. Out comes Myles Garrett.